Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
Listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Crushed
it.
It's
Crushed
what we
it.
do.
It is what we do.
Who are you?
Oh, fuck. I'm Kenyon.
I'm Lucy.
I'm Amanda.
And we kind of forgot how to do all the things because we haven't recorded in like 3 weeks.
It's been awesome.
It's been gorgeous. We didn't miss you at all.
Well, we were still releasing episodes because we worked our butts off to then take a little vacation.
We didn't get a chance to miss you because to you, we never left.
Mm-hmm.
But to us, we were long gone.
On another planet.
On the moon.
Known as Key West.
Or the Jersey Shore.
Or upstate New York.
God, love it. Some of us had better vacations than others. No, your sister-in-law got married. It was awesome.
Yeah, my sister-in-law got married. It was a lovely wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Zach co-officiated.
Oh, funsies.
It was great. Then we went down to the city. We saw friends. Dealt with trying to park a pickup truck in Manhattan for 5 days.
Oh, my God.
That's ridiculous.
Would not recommend.
No.
What's the deal with those like vertical parking ramps? You know what I mean? They're like whole towers.
They can, like, stack cars
I think
on top
that's
of each
for
other.
selling cars. I think that's Carvana.
No, they make parking garages in the city that can
Probably.
like stack and
we
deliver your car to the front.
Did have to use a parking garage for a couple of the days because it was just insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like $75 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's why
you
you
can't
don't do it.
you can't just like come and go.
Oh,
You
no,
can't-
no.
No, it's like $75 each time.
Uh-huh.
It would have been cheaper to fly and then just Uber all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
In retro.
I mean, we had other reasons for driving, but
For
yeah,
sure.
it just was. But it was fun. Anyway, okay,
did it.
sorry.
The
Whatever.
things you discuss in your 30s about vacation. The parking, am I right?
Parking, sunscreen.
Oh my God. SPF 50, honey. SPF
Yeah,
50.
minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we have a very special fan pick brought to you by Danny Hancock. And they just turned 21.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Danny from Dallas.
That hurts me somehow.
It's so young. And just, once again, our advice is just have all the sex.
And
All
like
of it.
Moira Rose says, take so many naked pictures of yourself.
So many nudes and near nudes. Just take all
Yeah.
of those pictures. You don't
I
have to
love a
share them
near
with
nude.
anybody.
It's just
No.
for you.
It's just for you,
Just
honey.
for you. Just because
Yeah.
someday you're going to be older and you're going to want to have a portrait of yourself.
You will want it.
Do
Yeah.
a whole boudoir shoot, honestly.
Do
yeah,
it.
honestly, annually in your
Yeah.
20s. Just do
Agreed.
it.
Weekly.
I did one at the age of 33.
Stunning.
And
by
I
the
was
way.
like, I wanted to like lose weight for it and get a tan and blah, blah, blah. And so I put it off for like a year and a half. And then I was like, I am not getting any better. I just finished
Slimmer.
doing it. And I loved it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Great,
And you
yeah.
look great.
You really
she did share her photos with us, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Obviously.
Of course.
What's a boudoir shoot if you don't share it with like all your best friends?
If you don't share it, did it even happen?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Anyway.
Okay,
Anyway.
so Danny, happy birthday. Take all the nudes. And they have selected the very fun topic of Beyond Stupid Drunk Dumbasses.
This is a great topic.
It's just
Yes.
such a fun topic. Had so much fun choosing cases.
Oh, I actually covered one of the same ones that you did, Kenyon, and then I was
Okay.
like, oh shit, I have to double check. So I took it off of my list.
Okay.
but it's one of my favorite stories ever. So I'm so happy that it's getting covered today.
We got some fun ones.
Some doozies.
It's a lot of fodder.
Lot of fatter.
Yeah.
Lot of fodder.
All right, without much more ado, Amanda, what is our wine crime pairing for drunk dumbasses?
Well, this is a fun one because it's actually not wine. So Danny, who, like you said, just turned 21, really wanted to know what we were drinking when we were 21. So I thought we could go around the room.
Oh.
I will start. My favorite cocktail when I was 21, I was already working, I think, at Rock Bottom at the time. So I was already in sort of like a bar and
Amanda was at
restaurant.
rock bottom.
I had hit my rock bottom at the time, at 21.
Turns out there's a basement.
There, yeah, nowhere to go but down.
Remember those parking garages? They go down as well.
Oh my God, they do. And speaking of parking garages, while I was working at that Rock Bottom, a woman stabbed herself in the stomach in the like stairwell of the parking garage where I always park my car.
Jesus Christ.
It was. I
It's
was
amazing
escorted
you
to my car.
survived working in the restaurant industry in your 20s.
I mean, some don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite cocktail at the time. Now, granted, I'd had my sister's ID and I'd been drinking since I was like 13. So you'd think I'm going to say like UV blue. No, honey.
Yeah.
I had already.
She'd been there, done that.
I was already very sophisticated at 21 years
Of
old.
course.
So my cocktail was a Stoli Blue Press,
Ooh.
which is Stoli blueberry flavored vodka.
Oh, the flavored vodka.
I love a flavored
We couldn't do this
Yeah.
episode without it.
Could not.
Shout
With-
out to flavored vodka.
Shout out for carrying me through my youth and now sometimes through my elder millennial years. Stoli Blue vodka with soda and then a splash of like Sprite. Now I've
delicious.
recreated
Yeah.
that today without the Sprite because, you know, Mama got that diabetes. But I am drinking
Possibly
a
from
Stoli,
flavored vodka.
a Stoli Blue and soda in a blue cup to really like. And it is so hot and humid here. So you can
She's
see
sweating.
it's just soaked. So this should be fun. What were you two drinking
Your
at
nails look
21?
cute. Oh, God. I don't fucking even remember.
I was drinking a lot of vodka cranberries.
Yeah,
That was
definitely.
that was my pinkies up. Felt real fancy.
Uh-huh.
Because I too was kind of over the UV blue.
Yeah.
It was also when I still had the patience for beer, but beer every now and then.
Before it totally ravaged my insides.
Yeah,
To
can't
have
do it
a beer.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I remember in college, so pre-21, drinking a lot of flavored vodka to the point where I can't do it anymore. I can't.
I brought a lot of flavored vodka to Hamilton.
You sure did.
Yes.
A lot of flavored vodka courtesy of Amanda's unbeknownst to them.
Blamed
Amanda
my grandmother.
was a bootlegger.
Exactly.
You were a flavored vodka rum runner.
But I also had just like regular vodka. We just
Yeah.
had so much vodka in
A
our
lot
house.
of vodka.
Well, it's because your dad worked for Phillips or whatever, right?
He worked for Smirnoff, which did Smirnoff and he worked for a company called Hubeline that did like all the marketing for those for Smirnoff and Finlandia
And your parents don't drink that much.
no.
So you just
It
had
just
all
piled
this
up.
vodka.
Listen, you got to do what you got.
He had a wine cellar of just
Yes, that,
regular vodka.
I remember those like wooden shelves in our unfinished basement that were just
Yep.
like cases of booze. We had like Jose Cuervo tequila. We had all the stuff. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What was that terrible, sparkling wine that we had
Oh,
at
the
Hamilton?
BJs or whatever those were.
No.
Oh, sparkling
K?
wine.
Starts with a K?
I'm sure you'll think of it. Anyway.
Anyway, whatever. Terrible wine.
Boxed wine, Francia. That was a good
Francia.
party drink. Because you could just
Probably.
pull the plastic bag out and throw it in your oversized hobo purse.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
With
if
the
we're still
fringe.
supposed to say that, but they were called hobo purses back in 2000.
We'll switch it and we'll call them
8.
boho purses. How about that?
Boho.
Yes, there we go. And your gaucho pants.
Right? Yep, your cropped gaucho pants with
Love a boho gaucho.
big, thick platform flip-flops.
Oh,
Yes,
I miss
yes.
the early aughts. I miss it.
Yeah.
And a lacy spaghetti strap tank.
Oh, layered.
Yes.
2 or 3.
Really extra long.
Mm-hmm.
As
With
long
the lace
as you
on the
could
bottom.
get. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think what else. I remember a friend of mine in college ordering a gin and tonic and specifying the type of gin.
Ooh,
So she was like, I'll have a Tanqueray and tonic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Who the fuck do you
wow.
think you are?
yeah, that was sophistication.
You'll have a Seagram's and you'll like it, you little bitch.
Yeah, I remember that very distinctly. So that was probably what I was drinking, was just copying her and being like, Tanqueray and tonic.
Tanqueray tonic, please. I do love a Tanqueray and tonic.
It's
Although
still
I
good.
have upgraded to Hendrix, I'd say. But
Oh yeah, but that was way out of our price range.
it still kind of is. So
Yeah.
it's an occasional treat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah,
alcohol.
That's so fun.
Isn't it though?
I'm drinking a coffee right now, but I will eventually go and pick out a booze of my choosing.
Yes, please.
All
I
right.
love that.
Okay, so Lucy, what is our background and possibly psych, hopefully,
On alcohol.
for drunk dumbasses? Why do we get so fucking stupid when we
we're
drink?
trying.
Well, first of all, I need to start with an anecdote because
Of course.
something happened to me while I was in Key West. And
To you or because of you?
to me. Well, okay. So
We'll
you
decide.
you two know this, and I think some of our listeners know this, but I am incapable of burping. I do not. The only times I ever burp is if I'm throwing up or if I like brush my teeth too hard and I gag and then I burp.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Cannot-
also kind of a throw-up-y thing.
Yes. It's only like a gag reflex thing. I can't burp to relieve gaseous pressure in my body. And some wonderful listener, I must have said it on the show, somebody slid into my DMs and sent me a link to an article about one researcher who has been doing research and published like an academic medical paper on what he called no burpers.
Yeah, which is
Never
a great word.
nudes. Never burps.
No burpers.
No burpers.
Neburbers.
I'm a burper. No big deal.
Never
NBD, but I'm no burper.
And Bob Loblaws. No burpers.
As I'm reading this article, I'm realizing what an impairment this is. That's the reason I'm constantly bloated. Like and they're talking about the relief that like belching gives people. I'm like,
yeah.
I've never experienced that. It's kind of
Amanda's your exact polar opposite.
Yes.
She's
constantly belching.
I'm an burper and
Yeah, a
always
pro-burper.
burping. Pro-burper. Prolific burper.
Yeah,
But I also have acid reflux,
right.
I
which
mean,
has
so do
improved
I.
significantly, but I don't know how you ever get relief from your reflux without
It's
burping.
Alka-Seltzer.
I'm so sad for you.
Alka-Seltzer and thyme.
Parsley, sage,
Pressure
Alka-Seltzer,
and
and thyme.
Anyway, so by the way, one solution that this researcher had to the burping is Botox, some sort of Botox treatment like in your throat or in your esophagus or something
In
like
your
that.
sphincter.
Love.
Yeah, 1 of
Tox that
7.
sphinx.
So I might be getting Botox. But anyway, so that's all the day that I read about this, it's all I could think about for the rest of the day. And I
I
totally
want to
psyched
get
myself out.
Botox for migraines.
Yes.
I want to get it for preventative wrinkles in my face.
Amanda's like, I'm just vain.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I love a med spa moment.
So So I'm researching the burping, and I found a Reddit community called the r/no burp. If anyone out there listening has the same impairment,
Or no
And
burp. Reddit. no burp.
people are sharing their tactics for training themselves to burp.
Wow.
And this one person said, They do like neck stretches every day, like 30 seconds of specific stretches. And then they're like, it's just kind of like you just open your mouth really wide and you kind of vomit air is what they say. You just vomit air.
You're sort of like dry heaving of your
I feel
own.
like that would make acid reflux worse.
But for us Naburpers, I don't know. I don't know the sensation. I don't know how to burp. Anyway.
Wow.
So in Key West, we're in Miami that night. We went to Little Havana for dinner.
So great.
The
So
greatest
fucking
place on Earth.
amazing.
Yep.
Went to Old's Havana. Was wonderful. But we were at this bar across the street. That was our first stop. So at this point, I had a couple drinks at the hotel. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't being a drunk dumbass.
Sure.
But I had some rum in my system.
Yeah,
And I went to the
like you do.
bathroom and I'm sitting on the toilet doing my thing.
Were you
Pants are
practicing
down.
your burping?
And I decided to practice the vomiting of the air.
Oh no.
So I opened my mouth wide and I
Oh no.
vomited into my underwear. So sitting right in front of me is what.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, that is so gross.
And I can't. I mean, after some rum, I was like, "Oh, this is gross. Oh, this is gross." And so I fully vomited between my legs into the toilet. Wiped it up. Kind of made a mess. All my makeup, I cried off all my makeup.
Oh, yeah.
It was done.
That's why I tattoo mine on now.
Oh, so smart.
Is that why?
Can't barf it off.
I might want to do that next time I'm in
You
Minnesota.
should. I'm wearing lotion. That's it.
Okay, well,
You're stunning.
yeah.
It's
that's not
amazing.
fair.
All
Okay.
week on vacation, I think I put on mascara one time. It's like it's allowing me to be so lazy.
Your true
and
lazy self.
so flawless, and I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love
It's
that.
everything
for you.
I
have
ever
to do
wanted.
that.
Well,
Oh my god!
long story short, the underwear, I just took them off. I didn't throw them away because they were one of my favorite MeUndies underwear.
Mhm, yeah.
There's a freebie.
you kept them.
Well, yeah, stick them in your,
rinsed
rinse them out,
off,
put them in your purse.
Run them out, put them in my purse. But I came out of the bathroom like 10 minutes later with just makeup running. My
If
face
I
is
threw
bright
away
red.
every pair of underwear I barfed in, I wouldn't have any underwear left.
Exactly. And
Come
Corey
on.
was like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "I tried burping. It went so wrong.
Oh,
I don't want
no.
to talk about it."
I tried.
to begin?
burping.
So anyway, there's my
You have
underwear
to-
anecdote.
You have
Good
to post that
God.
on the Naburpers
You
Reddit
do.
thread.
You
I think
very
I
much
did.
do.
Be like, don't try to practice in public because.
Yeah.
I don't know how Reddit works, but in order to look at that group, I had to make an account. So my Reddit name, can I share my Reddit name? Is that a
Do
safe
it.
thing
Yeah.
to do? I think, I don't even remember it. I think it's Dusty Cat 630.
Of course it is.
So
Of course it is.
yeah. There are a lot of
Dusty
variations
Cat.
of Dusty Cat were already taken. So it's Dusty Cat 630. Okay, on to my actual segment.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay.
listening to my
That
cautionary
was
tale.
incredible. I am still processing.
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute, but I can picture it very clearly.
It was really shocking. I didn't foresee that. Okay. So historically, alcohol in history, we don't know for sure when humans started making and consuming alcohol. It was definitely way before recorded history. Considering how alcohol is made, it probably didn't take a whole lot of brain power to figure it out because as we know, alcoholic substance comes down to fermentation. And that can occur in any mashed sugar-containing food such as grapes, grains, berries, or honey left exposed in warm air. Yeasts from the air act on the sugar, converting it to alcohol and carbon dioxide. Alcoholic beverages were thus probably discovered accidentally by pre-agricultural cultures.
Love.
So like
Amazing.
way fucking long ago.
Way back. Which honestly makes sense that alcohol came before like writing.
Farming.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like an organized way to eat.
Yeah. Pre-fire.
Maybe that's why it took us so long. We were just getting drunk.
Yeah, we're
Off
like,
old
whatever.
berries.
It's fine. There's plenty of berries.
It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm sure that's what I said after I came out of the bathroom.
I'm
no
fine.
underwear on. I'm fucking fine. Early peoples presumably liked the effects, if not the taste, and proceeded to purposeful production.
Yes.
From merely gathering the wild-growing raw materials, they went on to regular cultivation of the vine and other suitable crops. Few pre-literate groups did not learn to convert some of the fruit of the earth into alcohol. So, like, everyone around the world.
Everyone was making different types of alcohol.
Well, because
Exactly.
like you said, it's like bacteria.
It
and
happens
fermentation. It just happens
naturally.
accidentally. It's eventually going to happen.
Yep.
People just figure it out. Just like anything else, I think about like, why do we eat XYZ? It's like, oh, we watched an animal eat, like a mammal eat that. And people were like, oh, that's a food source.
Great.
We figured it out.
Guess
We're
check,
smart.
baby.
In the case of starchy vegetation, quite primitive agriculturists learned how to convert the starch to fermentable sugar through preliminary chewing. So they would chew the starch and then spit it out and then let it ferment because your saliva contains an enzyme that carries out this conversion.
Interesting. Okay.
A chemistry occurs.
Chemistry.
From the mouth.
So, in terms of alcohol use in what is now the United States, this is from the National Institute of Health. Quote, during the 150 years before the American Revolution, the colonists of North America tended to regard heavy drinking as completely normal. The colonists brought with them from Europe a high regard for alcoholic beverages. Distilled and fermented liquors were considered important and invigorating foods whose restorative powers were a natural blessing. Also, they didn't have a lot of fresh water. So.
Yeah, they didn't have clean water and they didn't. Yeah. So honestly, it was like,
This
was
is your
healthier
option. Yeah.
to drink ale and beer mainly or wine than fucking gross ass water.
Yep. People in all regions and of all classes drank heavily. Wine and sugar were consumed at breakfast. At 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., workers broke for their quote-unquote bitters. Cider and beer were drunk at lunch and toddies for supper and during the evening. So they were just
love a toddy.
drinking some
All
sort of
the time.
alcohol all day long. Alcohol was also a prominent feature of the colonists' social life. Such gatherings as barn raisings, fairs, and the mustering of militia were all accompanied by alcohol.
Of course.
Great.
Yeah. In addition, taxes on alcohol were an important source of revenue for the fledgling colonial governments. During the 150 years after the Revolution, a quite different view of drinking took hold. Many people came to see alcohol as an addicting and even poisonous drug. In this view, the drunkard was not a moral weakling, but the victim of an alien substance.
Oh my.
Alcohol could make normal people violent, dissolute, or degenerate. In this, it led to the breakdown of the family, which in turn weakened the social order. Moreover, because of alcohol's addictive qualities, even occasional drinkers flirted with danger at the rim of every cup.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, they were on to something, but then their solution didn't actually address
We'll get to the
what the
solution.
problem was. Yeah, it's like it can be addictive and fuck up families.
The solution actually
so
turned
can,
out
like,
to be more
poverty.
problematic than the problem.
Yeah.
Which is a good moment to remind everybody listening that we do have a lot of resources for all kinds of things, including substance use disorder.
Yes.
If there is anything that you might be hearing in this episode or other episodes that might give you pause or make you think maybe someone in your life might be struggling, go to our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com, and go to the resources page. There's like literally 24-hour resources and hotlines that you can call to point you in the right direction.
And we do have a lot of sober listeners too, which I think is
My
great.
partner is sober.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a very, very, very normal and should be even more normalized.
I know. I feel like it's increasingly
100%.
accepted too to just be like, no, I choose to be sober.
I agree.
I feel like
Especially
Gen Xers are in that vein.
Especially
like I'll have
as we
some warm
learn,
lemon juice,
Yeah.
lemon water at bedtime.
as we learn more about like anxiety
Yeah.
and depression, like that was the big thing for Bill, is that like alcohol use just triggered like panic attacks. And he was like, I can't, this does not agree
This
with me. I
isn't
can't do
fun
this.
for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, great. Let's remove that element and see how we feel. And it's been amazing for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will be covering some more sobering stats, just
Pun
quote
intended.
unquote. But I didn't want to totally focus on that because there's so much out there that's actually kind of quite depressing.
Yeah.
This could be the world's longest episode. So yeah, we don't have to.
So I'm going to cover a wider area of things. So don't think that I'm avoiding negative
Oh, of course not.
stats just because to not
bouncing
address
around.
it.
Yeah.
It's a big topic.
Like we said, go to our website on the resources page if you want some more information like about specific areas.
Yeah.
Okay, so this view, this more temperate view, temperance.
From the temperance movement. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. This view found its institutional voice in the temperance societies of the 1800s and early 1900s. The mainly middle-class members of these societies renounced indulgence in liquor and other vices, often with evangelical fervor. Yeah.
I love
And
evangelical
a lot of
fervor.
classism and racism.
A lot of isms. In the 1830s, these societies grew so rapidly that they prompted Alexis de Tocqueville's observation that America was a nation of joiners.
Very true.
Yeah. By 1835, 1.5...
We love a club.
Love a good club, love a good chant, love a good banner, love a good parade. Like, that might have sucked me in, too.
Yeah. Love othering people. I know
Love
you othering.
Love to other people. Personal favorite.
By 1835, 1.5 million of America's 13 million citizens had vowed never to consume ardent spirits again.
Hey.
So it was a very large chunk of the nation at that time. Leaders of this temperance movement had political clout, so it led to the 18th Amendment and the period of prohibition in the United States. This amendment was proposed by Congress on December 18th, 1917, and was ratified by the requisite number of states on January 16th, 1919. I forgot how fucking long prohibition actually lasted.
Yeah.
And what a horrible idea it was.
I always
Yeah.
think of it as being like a couple years. It was a long time.
It was like 22 or 23 years. 20,
Was it? I thought it was like a decade.
24 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Sheila.
I think. I don't know. I can't do math. I need a calculator for this. Okay, so the 18th Amendment declared the production, transport, and sale of intoxicating liquors illegal, though it did not outlaw the actual consumption of alcohol. Okay.
Well,
Maybe because
I
they didn't
have
have like a way to measure it.
They probably didn't, and also it was and still is a pretty common ingredient in many medicines and things like that. So it's like it would be kind of impossible to say like, no, you can't ever
Have
consume
any
this.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Shortly after the amendment was ratified, Congress passed the Volstead Act to provide the federal enforcement of prohibition. So the Volstead Act declared that liquor, wine, and beer all qualified as intoxicating liquors and were therefore prohibited. In the 1920s, when prohibition began to be enforced, because it took they gave it a year for everybody to just kind of run through the booze that they already had.
Yeah, because there were a lot of businesses that relied on alcohol sales and like
Sure
they had
were.
an inventory that they had to sell and
So they gave it a year. So in the 1920s, when prohibition really kicked in, speakeasies, bootlegging, rum running, and organized crime were increasingly rampant. A lot of people at this point were apparently surprised at the details of the Volstead Act, that it included beer and wine as intoxicating liquors, because a lot of people like didn't think of them as such.
Because they're so like
right.
low
People kind of
ABV.
thought that it was just going to be hard liquor,
Right.
And suddenly it's like, wait, but I like
I
to
like
have
a glass of wine with my dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I like this one though.
Yeah.
Again with the racism, the classism kind of also plays a role in this because these people were like, this is fucking bullshit. I want my glass of wine. I deserve it. I'm not a degenerate drunk.
For sure.
Right.
I'm also kind of surprised that like religious institutions given communion didn't.
There must have been some.
There had to have been clauses for like religious
communion
practice.
wine.
Yeah.
There must have been.
As there probably were for, like you said, medicines that contained alcohol.
Yeah.
Right.
But also in communion, though, it's not sale. And I guess it's technically not distribution either if it's being used that way.
And it's such small amounts for
Yeah.
communion wine. It's not like.
Just something I never really thought about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very similar to like the crack versus cocaine divide, where it's like, like I don't do that.
I don't
That's
smoke
bad.
crack. I just
That
do
thing,
a key
that's
bump
the
on
same.
Saturday.
It's just
Right,
processed
right.
differently. Yeah.
No, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So people, as this kind of started to get going, people were like, I did not sign up for this.
I did not have sign-up relations with this prohibition.
So at this point, calls for repeal began to grow across the country, especially in northern states, again with the racism, where many brewers were just like, what the fuck? Like, I can't even brew beer. It's
Yeah. Look, I mean, beer was one of the like first industries in this nation.
In the world.
Think about
in
Wisconsin.
human
Right.
history.
We need this.
Yeah. So gambling, so-called prostitution, and other vices really shot through the roof during this time and led a lot of people to blame the temperance movement and prohibition because of all these other vices that are like, well, if we can't drink, might as well get laid, whatever.
Or
So-
if I'm breaking one law,
Yeah.
I might as well break a couple
'em all.
more because I
Yeah.
have to go to this. Instead of going to a restaurant and ordering it normally, I have to go somewhere where like a bunch of illegal shit is happening.
Or as my
Exactly.
grandmother Helen would say, a restaurant.
Restaurant. Yep. So prohibition and this temperance movement started to be seen as a dangerous infringement on individual freedoms. So it really swung the other direction. Oh, and not to mention we also had the Great Depression during this time. So prohibition really only took jobs away from people who could be otherwise working in bars and manufacturing alcohol and whatever.
And distribution.
They got rid of an entire industry where people could have been employed.
Yeah.
Yep. And the
were.
taxes
Yeah.
that they could have garnered from all those sales that could have
Yep.
gone towards, other job creation
Oh,
schemes.
yeah.
So just after the 18th Amendment's adoption, there was a significant reduction in alcohol consumption among the general public and particularly among low-income groups. So yes, it worked for a period like, oh, we're not drinking now. I'm
Dry
kind of
January.
I'm thinking of this as
Right.
kind of like the mask mandate or like all the COVID stuff. Like, and when it first started, everyone's like, we're all in this together. We're going to hunker down and wear our mask and blah, blah, blah. And then as it dragged on, people were like, I'm bored.
Yeah. And then people started fucking around. And now they're
Yeah.
finding out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Delta variant.
Yeah. I've gone
Hi,
back.
honey.
Even though I'm fully vaccinated, I have gone back to wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah. I was just
public.
listening to the Daily today about how the
Yeah.
Delta variant has like the most breakthrough cases where you're going to have like a mild infection if you're vaccinated. It's going to just feel like a cold, which is the entire fucking point of getting
You can
vaccinated.
spread it to the 50% of the country that's still not fucking vaccinated.
Right. So
Right.
it's like, just wear, just fucking
your
wear
jets.
it. Just
Just
fucking
cool your
wear
jets.
Yeah. So I'm back to wearing a mask. It's fine. It is what it is. Please fucking get vaccinated.
Yes. Also, I finally masked and it lasted for 14 years.
That's a long
not
fucking
24,
time.
but that's still a long time.
It feels like 104 years if you were like,
Yeah.
if you were in it.
Yeah.
When we were in South Africa during the lockdown and they banned alcohol sales first for a few months, then whatever. When we were there, it was banned for a few months.
I felt so sorry for you.
It
That was rough.
it kind of took over, and I'm like, I don't have a drinking problem, and it honestly like took over a lot of my thoughts because it was like I want to have this as like
If
a
you
backup.
can't have it,
Right.
makes you
Well,
want it
and-
way more.
When you think about how these rituals become parts of our routine, then any like real sudden disturbance of that routine, no matter how,
Petty.
insignificant or petty it seems, that's challenging. Like that is
Yeah.
hard.
That
I
is
definitely-
why people freak out at Walmarts about mask stuff.
Yeah. I definitely drank more during those months than I would have otherwise because we did have like a stock of it, and then Zach started like trading it. So he was like trading gin for red wine and like whatever. He thought he was like Nucky Thompson, but
God. My God.
yeah, he had a great time. But it really like it absolutely changed my behavior when it like it didn't actually have to, but it did.
Yeah. A lot of this is psychological. And if we liken it to mask COVID mandates, there are so many parallels. It's really bizarre. But you're right. Like, as soon as you can't have something or it disrupts any part of your normal routine, you get a little twitchy.
Game over, honey.
Yeah.
Like I don't have fast food very often, but if I was like not allowed to have fast food, you better believe that I would be like craving some chicken nuggets.
There is a McDonald's in the parking lot of my endocrinologist's office. It should be illegal. Scott and I go to the same place, and we have definitely discussed, like, if you're diabetic and you are seen there, that McDonald's is fucking famous to you. That is the most, like, problematic and revered McDonald's in the fucking world. It's so wrong.
Okay, so back to the first, like, as soon as the 18th Amendment sort of kicked in, this is the early days, the honeymoon period. There were fewer hospitalizations for alcoholism and likewise fewer liver-related medical problems. However, consumption soon climbed as underworld entrepreneurs, like Kenyon's husband, Zach, began producing what was called rot gut alcohol, which was full of dangerous diseases. With the rise of home distilled alcohol, careless distilling led to the deaths of many citizens. During the ban, upwards of 10,000 deaths can be attributed to wood alcohol or methanol poisoning.
What?
We talked about this a lot in our Prohibition Crimes episode.
Yeah, so many people died from like exploding distilleries in the woods and things like that, and just drinking
literally accidentally making poison.
Yeah.
Actual poison.
Yeah.
It's like in
fucking
S-Town.
scary. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I re-listened to S-Town recently. It's so fucking good. Okay.
It's so good. It's so good.
Ultimately, during Prohibition, use and abuse of alcohol ended up higher than it was before it started. On December 5th, 1933, 14 years. Math. The 18th
Nailed it.
Amendment was repealed by the 21st Amendment during the Roosevelt administration, and it is the only amendment to be repealed in its entirety.
Yeah.
It's the only time we were like, oh, we really
Never
fucked
mind.
up. Yeah.
Never mind.
So that's kind of the story of that. And here are some kind of fun facts about alcohol for you.
Okay.
It takes 6 minutes for the brain to start to react to alcohol.
That's fast.
It is fast.
I wonder if that is a combination of metabolism and psychological response. Like once you already are at a point where you have created memories of being drunk, you know how like we're just meat robots and everything we do is just based on past experiences?
Yeah. Synapses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
whatever.
That like your brain after however many years of using alcohol just knows like how it's going to react. And so there you go.
I remember the first time I ever like got a buzz.
Was it at my house?
It was at Jessica's house.
Oh, of course.
And
probably same.
Older brother was having a party, and I decided to have a bottle of MGD,
Duh.
the beer. And I remember I had like 2 or 3 sips, so it was like only just like out of the neck of the bottle, barely. And I was sitting on her couch, and I was looking at that horrible poster of like the skier in her living room. And I was like, wow, my brain feels cool. Yeah, it's about
Felt
6
that.
minutes. So the amount of alcohol content in the strongest beer in the world is 67.5%.
Mm-hmm.
Beer.
That's
Ugh.
really strong. That wouldn't even be enjoyable to drink, I don't think.
No.
No. It's
I
made
thought
by
that- yeah.
Scottish brewery. It's called Brewmeister. And this is a quote from Grub Street. The subtly named snake venom is brewed with a 1-2 punch provided by doses of beer and champagne yeasts. It's also got chocolate malts and peat smoked malt, and is freeze concentrated several times during the brewing process, which has the effect of jacking up the alcohol content. So this is
It just
all
doesn't
sorts.
sound that good to me.
It doesn't
I'm
sound
so
that good.
sorry.
And I think
If
it's
it
kind
was
of
a
expensive
milkshake,
too.
it would
Yeah.
sound good.
But
as
if
a beer,
anything was a milkshake,
Right.
it would sound good
yeah,
to me.
but like a smoky peat champagne and chocolate milkshake, that got you drunk.
Okay, yeah, I could.
Okay.
I could
That
get
would
there.
definitely make me vomit in my underwear. I got him, man.
Oh my god! Can't do that to me when I'm sipping.
I didn't think.
That's just not right.
Oh my god. Okay,
Oh,
this one is
yuck.
a real bummer. The highest ever
Oh,
recorded
good.
blood alcohol content was 0.914%, which is more than twice the typical lethal limit.
Did that
Holy
person survive?
shit.
I don't know.
Long
I
enough
didn't
for
look
it to
up.
get recorded, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, actually, oh fuck, I was gonna look this up. I talked to Dr. Bob, the former pathologist, in a Spooky Little Bitch episode, and he was talking about how if, let's say, you were driving drunk and you got into a wreck and they didn't find your body for like several hours and you had died, one way that they can see what your BAC is inside your body is taking it out of your eyeball.
Oh, that's right. You
But
have talked about this.
But after you die, your body naturally kind of ferments a
Right.
little bit.
Yeah,
so
so
it
it
can show a
skews.
very high BAC even if it wasn't that high at the time of your death.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting.
It's
so they,
something like that.
so they
it's
can like
something like
reverse calculate it if they know like how long roughly you've been there. They can be like, this was
Maybe.
probably their BAC when they crashed. Not
or
that it
maybe it's-
matters.
Maybe it's something like your blood will show that it's higher, so they have to take it out of your eyeball to be
Oh.
sure. Something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. It made sense at the time. I fucking forgot.
don't drive
anyway,
drunk.
don't drive drunk.
drive even tipsy or buzzed.
Don't drive. Just don't drive.
Don't leave your house. Moonshine accounts for around 30% of the world's alcohol drinking, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it said that moonshine was like the type of liquor that is the most commonly consumed on the planet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
You-
nuts.
That's telling.
You need about 600 grapes to make a bottle of red wine. It's a lot of grapes. There are approximately 49 million bubbles in a bottle of champagne.
Wow. So many bubs.
And speaking of champagne,
Little
there is
bubbies.
approximately 90 psi of pressure in a bottle of champagne, and that is 3 times the pressure in your car tire.
I love that.
So be careful and
Yeah.
don't let me open it near
No, don't.
Pointed right at your own eye.
And be really careful when you're bringing bottles of champagne onto a pontoon and then not opening them for a few hours because that shit shoots right out.
yeah, we did.
Oh,
that.
yeah. We definitely
We
did
did
that.
that.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Okay, so here are a couple of depressing stats from the National Institute of Health because alcohol is a depressant. Alcohol contributes to about 18.5% of emergency visit, like ER
Yeah.
visits, and 22.1% of overdose deaths related to prescription opioids. Don't fucking mix alcohol with
Oof,
really any
yeah.
other drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it just
worth it.
makes you black out, and sometimes it kills you.
It slows your like respiratory system so much that you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
die.
Follow those instructions about medication and alcohol. And for all of our little baby listeners out there, don't mix alcohol and weed. It never works
Not worth
out.
it.
It never
It's
works.
not
worth
good. It never works out. No.
Oh, it might make you leave
Just
a
fall
party
asleep.
mid-sentence, go upstairs and go to bed, maybe with a bag of chips. Maybe you don't remember it.
Maybe that's getting off light because
Yeah.
I had to have my RA hold my hair back. Well, never mind. We won't go there. It's fine. Don't do it.
Just don't do it. It never turns out great.
Literally never.
An estimated 95,000 people, and that accounts for approximately 68,000 men and 27,000 women, die from alcohol-related causes annually, making alcohol the third leading preventable cause of death in the United States. The first preventative cause of death is tobacco, and the second, sorry guys, is poor diet and physical inactivity. So,
Boo.
I mean,
Boo.
duh.
duh, but boo.
That's not
Duh, and
preventable.
also boo.
In 2019, alcohol-impaired driving fatalities accounted for 10,142 deaths, and that was about 28% of overall driving fatalities. Do not drink and drive.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do
not
it.
worth
Don't do
it.
it. I will not drive if I have had one drink.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like-
it's not worth it.
No. I'm not no. Just don't do it.
Yeah. Okay, so in order to not be a complete bummer and end on a fucking bummer note, here are some benefits of alcohol consumption, as reported by C. Baum Baker in an article for the National Library of Medicine.
Do you think Bombecker is a no burper?
Can you burp on Baker?
Bombecker, are you a no burper? Are you a pro burper?
Are you never?
They're probably a no burper.
Bombecker is probably a no burper.
You two are fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Alcohol in moderate amounts is effective in reducing stress. Go fucking figure. This has been found in both physiologic and self-report measures. Low and moderate doses of alcohol have been reported to increase overall affective expression, happiness, euphoria, conviviality, and pleasant and carefree feelings.
Misconviviality.
Misconviviality. Tension, depression, and self-consciousness have been reported to decrease with equal doses.
The self-consciousness I can definitely attest to.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
lowers your inhibition. For
I'm
better or for worse.
so good
Yes.
at karaoke when I'm drunk.
Oh, I've never done karaoke sober.
Why would
Why
you?
would you?
Yeah, why would I do that to myself? Yeah. No.
That's sick for you to even mention.
It's sick.
I still remember the look on Josh Hallmark's face when I got turnt in New Orleans and we went to
and
that
he picked our
karaoke-
songs for us.
Yes, and he came and I dragged him up on stage to sing with me.
I have that on.
And
video.
Josh was like,
Whoa.
he had
Yeah.
never seen me like that. It was amazing.
I didn't
And you were
know.
wearing like a sport coat. You were dressed
Yes, you
really
were.
professionally.
Because we
You
had
had-
just yes.
It was at Crime Con. You had a
We'd come off
blazer
of like
on.
a whole day
heels.
at Podcast Row, and you were all dressed up. You looked beautiful, but it did not fit the surroundings.
You looked like an
at all.
executive.
Yes,
Just wasted,
It
screaming
was
Tony
bizarre.
Braxton.
It was bizarre. Oh my god! It was
Okay,
so funny.
low alcohol doses have been found to improve certain types of cognitive performance. Obviously, not all types.
Just certain
Included
times.
here are problem solving and short term memory. Shocking.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Heavy drinkers and abstainers have higher rates of clinical depression than do regular moderate drinkers.
All right.
I will cling to that stat.
With all my might.
Alcohol is in low and moderate doses have been effective in the treatment of geropsychiatric problems, which is like old person brain problems.
Okay.
As indicated in the text, results from many of the studies reviewed suggest that light or moderate drinking may be beneficial to psychological well-being.
And again, not for everybody.
Not for everyone, and everything in moderation. Don't fucking drive,
Right.
and don't mix it with drugs.
And there
Be
was
an
some
idiot or an
stat
asshole.
that came out recently that was like any amount of alcohol is really bad for your liver and your body. And it's like, yeah.
Well,
But like,
your
so
liver.
is like the ibuprofen. So you
Right.
know what? I'm fucked either way.
It's true. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Everything in moderation. And with that, we're going to take a brief sponsor break, and I'm going to go get myself some wine.
Yeah, I'm going to go get
Make
a
a
rum and coke.
cocktail.
Don't puke into your underwear.
Go practice your burps.
So, traditional guidance around fertility has been just wait and see. But now we have the tools to help us plan for and track pretty much everything else in our lives. So, our wellness, finances, careers, school, our mental health. So, why are we ignoring fertility and just leaving it up to wait and see?
Yeah, nope. That's a big no. That
Doesn't work for me.
does not. And that is why modern fertility was created. It is the easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick.
Oh.
You mail it in with a prepaid label, and you will get your personalized results within 10 days. And traditional testing with your doctor can cost over $1,000 now. But modern fertility gets you the same information at $159, which is a fraction of the price. And if you go to modernfertility.com/gals, you can get $20 off your test. And also, if you have an HSA or FSA, you can put those dollars toward modern fertility. Use that money.
So good.
You will get insight into your hormone levels, how many eggs you have, and other important fertility factors. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also talk one-on-one with a fertility nurse to review your results and options for next steps. So if you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, honestly, even if you don't want them and you just want to know about your hormones and your body, get that clinically sound info about your body that can help you make the decision that's right for you.
We love modern fertility just for like the ease and convenience and price. It's amazing. And right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/gals, GALS. That means your test will cost just $139 instead of the several hundred or even $1,000+ it could cost at a doctor's office. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/gals, modernfertility.com/gals, and treat your knowledge.
Treat it. It's 2021, people. Nobody has time for uncomfortable shoes.
Yes.
And that is where Rothy's is here to be the angel you've been praying for. It's amazing. So it's summertime. Kick it off on the right foot. See what we did there? With comfortable bestsellers like flats, loafers, and sneakers from Rothy's. I also got sandals. I am obsessed.
I also have sandals from Rothy's.
They're so cute. The sandals come in an array of colors and shoes that are made for exploring. Their newest styles have you covered. Plus, their spacious, washable bags are perfect for summer getaways. I have the bag too. I have the bag. I have the masks. I have the sandals. I have the shoes. I have everything.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I have everything from, not everything from their line, but I have something from all of their types of products. And I love them all. And also, every single day that I wear my Rothy's points out and about, I get compliments on them.
Yep. Every time.
And I was a little bit upset because my father-in-law shrunk a pair of my points because he put them in the dryer.
Oh, not supposed to do
Not
that.
supposed to do that. You can put them in the washer. You're not really supposed to put them in the dryer. So he did. So he shrunk them. So I just got myself a new pair, and man, these babies are as good as ever. I love them so much. And speaking of men, Rothy's has a newly launched men's shoes line. And these are intentionally designed with an artisanal level of detail and created with nearly zero waste. So you can feel good about what you're putting on your feet. And Rothy's men's shoes are durable, washable, and better for the planet. Plus, rigorous testing during R&D results in a perfect fit, wash after wash.
That is legit. We literally wash our Rothy's once a week.
Yeah, And they come
they-
out brand spanking new every time.
Flawless. So step up your summer wardrobe with washable, sustainable, stylish shoes and bags from Rothy's. Head to rothys.com/gals to find your new warm weather favorites today. That's rothys.com/gals, GALS, and treat your feet.
Treat them. All right.
Do we all have our beverages now?
We have our
Oh,
beverages.
yeah.
I'm drinking our new rosé. Y'all,
I-
it is so fucking good.
It's so good.
So good.
I apparently am still living on Florida time. So for those of you at home, you can see my incredible antique store fine Florida glass.
That's
Those of you at
really
home
perfect.
on Patreon.
That's right.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
So I've got a bunch of short dives for drunk dumbasses.
I love
Of
it.
course.
I like a smattering of short dives, shallow
Mine's
dives.
also short dives, so
It's
we're
fun.
crushing it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so around 12:30 in the morning on May 27th, 2011, police in Lorain County, Ohio, received a phone call from a young man who had become concerned that his drunken friend had become, quote, very violent towards both people and animals at the Timber Ridge campground where they were staying.
No.
People I can handle, but leave the animals out
Like
of this.
wild animals?
We will get
Well,
to
if they're
it.
at a campground, then people probably have their pets there.
There are also probably wild animals.
It was
Probably.
probably a mix, and we will get to it. And also, shit is bad when your own friend.
Yeah. It's like, bro,
Narcs on you.
Yeah.
calling the cops.
And not for your own safety, but for
Right.
the safety
You're
of
being a
others.
dick.
I would never do that to you guys.
I would.
You might if we behaved like this, and we will get to it.
Oh.
So, however, by the time the police arrived at the campground, the man in question, 20-year-old Thomas Stroop, had passed out, quote, amidst numerous knives, swords, and other edged weapons.
Just amidst.
Why'd they have so many edged
well,
weapons?
They were amassing edged weapons and hammered.
Oh, that's a bad combo.
I hate that.
Officers attempted to wake the sleeping man, who was at first non-responsive, but then opened his eyes and began growling at
Oh,
them.
no. This is some not good shit.
Weird. I don't like this. He
Stroop-
must have smoked weed also.
Probably. Stroop then began speaking to the responding officers in a thick Russian-like accent.
Well, I love that.
Russian-like.
Russian-like.
Russian adjacent.
Telling one of them, I'm going to kill your cousin, Keith.
Oh. Keith?
Yeah.
Saying Keith in a Russian-like
Yes.
accent is
Yes.
tough.
Is he speaking to Keith or is the cousin's named Keith?
I'm so glad that you asked because
I don't know.
incidentally, according to follow-up reporting, the officer to whom Stroop had made that comment is neither named Keith nor does he have a cousin named Keith.
Okay. Got it.
I'm glad I asked too, because that
Yeah.
would be normally something that you guys would other me about being a grammar weirdo.
It was a shot in the dark and it was a miss.
Yeah, it was
Is what
somebody
that
who's named
was.
Keith. It's
I'm
Keith
gonna
o'clock
call-
sometimes.
It's
I'm going
Keith
to call
o'clock
everyone
somewhere.
Keith when I'm drunk.
Until you
from now
find
on.
a Keith.
Keith.
That almost happened to me the other day.
What?
Not when I was drunk, but I asked my friend. I was discussing when Virgo season and Libra season, they butt up against each other, right?
Sure.
Virgo first and then Libra.
Yeah. So I was discussing where that break is. I didn't want to Google it. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw one of my friends and I was like, hey, when's your birthday? And he goes, oh, it's Friday. Thank you for asking. I can't believe you remembered. I was like, I did not remember. I've never knew when your birthday was.
no.
We have a friend and she's actually a Leo, I'm pretty sure. So this was especially egregious, but
You have the same birthday.
yeah, very similar birthdays. And we were all hanging out as a group, but she couldn't come she lived in a different city and couldn't come. So we all called her on a group call and she was like, oh my God, you guys remembered my birthday. I'm so sad I can't be there because it's my birthday, but blah, blah, blah. And we were like,
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh my God. It's like the time that we got Courtney tickets to Jimmy Eat World, forgetting
God.
that she has the same fucking birthday as
As
Scott. And we had to fix that one real quick.
Well, your mom took care of it.
My mom walked straight up to the tour bus for Jimmy Eat World, knocked on the door, and asked if we could put Scott on the list.
To the show.
Your mom didn't do that.
Yes, she did.
I did that.
No, my mom did it.
No.
Well, the version I remember is your mom doing it.
I
so
did that.
2 against 1.
Was me.
Well,
my rewritten memory.
it was very badass, whoever
It was
did it.
Melinda.
Okay. Well, it was me. So
I waited in the car. I'm not that brave.
okay, so police took Stroop into custody, and on the way to the county jail, he reportedly began apologizing and attempting to explain his behavior, assuming at this point in his normal accent. At first, he told officers that he had drunk too much vodka and passed out, but then he changed his story and explained that, quote, ever since he had been bitten by a wolf in Germany, he had a tendency to go on rampages during the full moon.
Was it a full moon?
The werewolf.
Did we
defense.
fact check
I'm
this?
so glad you asked. because indeed, it was not a full moon.
I had a
It was
feeling.
new moon.
Oh.
I am
well.
a fact checker.
I know. God bless.
I'm never holding back any stupid questions
No.
ever again.
Well,
I've
just
been
do on my
fully
cases.
validated.
So he claimed still that every time the moon was out, he could not control
Oh.
himself and he went on the attack.
So always?
That's what he claimed. But the werewolf excuse was apparently unconvincing to the authorities, and Stroop was charged with underage consumption of alcohol. Nothing about the weapons. I think because they were all bladed weapons and not firearms.
All I know is I want a Stroop waffle
Oh,
after hearing this.
I love a Stroop waffle.
Love a good Stroop.
so good.
Stroop me up.
I always get them. I always buy them in the Amsterdam airport. I used
Oh,
to
yeah.
go through there a lot to get back and forth between South Africa, and I would
I was
load
gonna
up.
say, you sounded like such an asshole.
I know.
I always buy them in the
Always buy
Amsterdam
them in the
airport.
Amsterdam airport.
When I had to go through there to commute,
It
I
was
loaded
a
up.
literal commute.
I loaded up on Stroopwafel. Okay,
Yum. I'm so hungry.
weirdly, this is not the only such story out of this very region of Ohio. So the previous year, Lorain County Police arrested 21-year-old Andrew Whiteman, who I will be referring to as White Man.
Yeah.
Was he
When
white?
they, yeah, I believe so. When they found him drunk, covered in mud, and attempting to break into a drugstore around 3 o'clock in the morning. His break-in attempt involved him repeatedly pulling on and kicking the doors of the store.
Was it a
not
push?
Make- I'm so glad you asked. No, I'm kidding.
The cops are
Oh
like,
my
dude.
God. That was like my favorite thing about being a host at the restaurants where I worked is just watching people struggle with the door when it's clearly marked and not helping them.
Oh, no.
It's like, figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
I love it.
When police apprehended him, White Man told the cops that they were actually the ones in trouble because they had failed to recognize that he was actually a 100-year-old vampire.
Oh,
So
yep.
they better watch
Common
out.
mistake. Common mistake. Happens all the time.
I
When-
mean, I don't want to cross a vampire.
No. When he was placed in the back of the cruiser to be transported to the police station, he told the officers that he was still able to smell their blood from the back seat.
Okay, honey.
Calm down.
He went on to tell one of the cops that he would kill him and his family, and he was apparently unafraid of consequences because he claimed to be immortal.
But what if he got life in prison
Right.
and you're fucking immortal? That would suck.
That would
That
suck.
would
You'd have a
suck.
lot. You could just
Didn't think that
attempt
one
to break
through.
out a lot.
Did you, Lestat?
Didn't think that one through. God.
Then,
Classic.
when this Jim arrived at the county jail, he told a female employee that he wanted to eat her kidney.
Well,
I mean,
with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
when you're hungry, you're hungry.
For his drunken antics, White Man was charged with attempted breaking and entering, disorderly conduct, and intimidation. I love that they charged him for attempted breaking and entering when he, didn't even crack glass. He just was, not.
He attempted.
He was
Getting
just tugging on
anywhere.
the door.
Yeah.
This sounds like Luann de Lesseps. her police altercation.
Totally.
I think she got
Money
charged with the
can't buy
same
you
thing.
class.
She was charged with assaulting a police officer.
Oh, God. Haven't they all been to jail now?
I mean, a
haven't,
handful.
more
There's a
of them-
lot of housewives.
Yeah.
Oh, not all the housewives. A
But a
lot of
lot.
them, though.
A lot of them.
All right. In another instance of unconvincing excuses for drunken behavior. In 2009, 40-year-old Tracy Ellenberg
Yes, this is the one I almost covered.
was stopped by police in the town of 6 Mile, South Carolina, after a local resident contacted them about a woman erratically riding a horse down Main Street.
Down the yellow line.
Yeah.
Can you erratically ride a horse?
Yeah.
Apparently, you can.
Slipping and sliding and tugging.
She was barely hanging
my-
on.
Would not recommend driving.
Don't drink and
or
ride.
riding.
Don't drink and ride.
Horses are also tall.
They're huge
You're
animals.
fucking 8 feet off the ground.
Yeah, if you get bucked, you're fucked.
Or just tip off the saddle. It's like you have a seatbelt.
There are a
That's what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
ways you could get hurt.
A lot of ways
On a
you can
horse.
fuck up on a horse.
And you just piss it off enough.
Listen,
It could
ask my
bolt.
Aunt Gail.
Oh, it could bolt.
So she was riding, like Amanda said, on the yellow median line, taking up both lanes of the two-way street. And she seemed barely able to stay on her horse.
Barely alive.
Uh-oh.
I'm just riding side saddle. Ever heard of it?
It's
I'm
classy.
a lady.
By the time the police arrived on the scene, Ellenberg had tied the horse up to a bench outside of a convenience store.
Just going to CVS and picking up my prescriptions.
Does she have a bike lock for it?
The general store.
A U-lock for her horse.
And she went inside to ask to use a phone. When they went inside the store and began questioning her, they noted that her speech was slurred and she was barely able to stand. I don't know how she got up on the thing.
Listen, if
Muscle
you are a horse
memory,
girl,
I
it's
guess.
muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's mare memory.
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 Ellenberg explained that she was on her way to her boyfriend's house and that she wasn't drunk. The horse was. I'm not the puppet. You're
the puppet. First of all, how dare you?
I was merely on for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Upon further questioning, though, she finally admitted that she had finished a 6-pack of beer on her own before leaving her house.
Oh, no wonder she had to go to CVS. She had to piss like a
She
racehorse.
yeah, she
Probably.
did not have to use a phone. She had to fucking piss.
Ugh.
And it turns out the horse wasn't even hers.
Mary Ellen.
She had
Tracy. Her name is Tracy.
Oh, I heard Ellen. I heard
Ellenberg. Tracy Ellenberg.
Mary Ellen.
Mary Ellenberg.
Oh, for crying eyes.
Ugh.
She had stolen it from a neighbor in order to make her trip over to her boyfriend's house, which probably was very urgent.
She needed to get laid.
Mm-hmm.
It was a requirement.
The horse's owner did not press charges.
What a gem.
So
Can
neighborly.
I just, okay, I have literally never drank 6 beers. I can't even stomach the thought.
That would be like eating 2 loaves of bread.
A minimum. But would 6 beers get you that fucked up?
It would get you quite drunk. And she was not a big woman.
Oh, okay.
I think it depends on the beer, because if it's like Busch Light, then
True.
no.
and how much you've eaten that day.
And,
Yeah,
and your
that's true.
size, and if there's any, like, she might have also been on medications. We don't know.
Or like if you have a super low tolerance.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot
The-
of factors.
The thought of consuming 6 beers is absolutely repulsive to me.
It's really gross.
I have definitely done it. But again, if it's like a very light, watery beer, you probably wouldn't even notice,
Yeah.
to be honest. Still don't drive or ride.
Yeah. You gotta
Okay.
pee. The
Save a horse, ride a
urination
cowboy.
alone. Yeah, she was trying to ride
Save
a
a
cowboy.
horse, call an Uber.
Save
The Tracy
federal
Ellenberg
charges. Get an Uber.
So, all right, we got another shorty, real shorty, but good. In 2016, a Floridaman named Jack Means.
No,
Jack Means.
Jack means well.
I don't like that.
He means well. Had a drunken encounter with police that led to his arrest, but he brought the police presence entirely on himself.
As
After-
we often do.
Consuming a large amount of vodka, Means asked his girlfriend to buy him more alcohol. When she refused, he became angry and decided the best course of action was to call 911
Oh
to
God, I have one of
report
these.
his lack of alcohol and his girlfriend's refusal to help.
I get it.
Just being very unhelpful.
I mean,
When the dispatcher answered the call, Means said, sorry, it's not what I'd call a true emergency, but it's the same BS.
Yep. Same BS as always. I love that. It's the same BS.
I love it's not what I'd call a true emergency.
it's not like an emergency, but it's
The
like
way that you
my
might define it.
emergency. It's a personal emergency.
Means also claimed that he was calling to report his neighbors fighting and yelling, probably to try to like get out of the
Oh yeah.
Wrong
charge of,
abuse
like-
of 911
He
or
probably
whatever.
came to briefly and was
Right.
like, I gotta think of something.
oh shit. Also, there's noises.
Yeah. You can't hear that?
So when police arrived on the scene, they found no fighting neighbors, only Means complaining still about his lack of vodka.
And his now ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, probably.
He was arrested and charged with a misdemeanor for misusing 911, as rightfully so.
Yes.
1,000%.
Okay, last one. Also in 2016, great year, great vintage. A man in Marietta, Georgia, had a drunken interaction with police that involved some very poor decision making.
Oh, my favorite.
When 24-year-old Lazaro Hernandez was pulled over for suspected drunk driving, he decided to try to get out of the ticket by bribing the officer.
Yes. Always works.
Not
Every
good.
time.
Not great. And this is the bribe that he had on hand. Tried to offer him a beer.
Yes. I got
like
it's
that.
open. It's right here.
It's right
oh,
here.
shit.
It's no trouble.
No trouble.
I ain't
got
having
an-
one. Do you
I got
want
an
one?
extra.
Can't drink alone. I'm having one. Pop this in your mouth. I'll give you a present.
Body camera footage from the officer who made the stop also shows Hernandez attempting to offer all the money in his wallet as a bribe.
I'm sure it was a
Like
lot.
$7.
Well, he can be heard on the footage saying, I got like $300 right here.
Oh
Okay,
my
Which
wow.
is a lot of cash. I cannot.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that much
Can you
cash on me.
close your wallet with that much cash in it?
Yeah.
Why would
What-
you have 300 people who travel like day to day with cash blow my
I
mind?
don't get it
I don't
either.
get it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. We don't get it.
When the officer responds by saying, "Are you trying to bribe me?"
No.
Hernandez increased the offer to $400.
So he was lowballing him on all the money in his
He
wallet.
was trying to call the cops bluff.
Oh my God.
Before asking the officer how much he can take. What's it gonna take? We'll
What's
find
your
a number.
threshold? What's your threshold?
what's your
for
threshold?
I got my checkbook.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
We can find an ATM. Finally, when he realizes a ticket is inevitable, he begins trying to talk the officer out of giving him a DUI and into a lesser charge of super speeding.
Okay.
His attempts at persuasion were unsuccessful. He was arrested and charged with driving under the influence, bribery, driving with an open container, reckless driving,
Yep.
and failure to obey authorized persons directing traffic.
Rack 'em up, honey.
Couldn't he just be charged with attempted bribery if the cop didn't take it?
I mean,
yeah.
I think if you offer it, you get the bribery,
bribery,
charge. That's
yeah.
it. That's it.
Maybe there isn't such thing as attempted bribery.
There might not be. I wouldn't be surprised if there
Or maybe
wasn't.
if it's like if the money really was on hand, then it's bribery. And if it wasn't on hand, it would just be attempted.
I don't know.
A lawyer,
I'm actually
let us
curious to the answer to this question. So yeah.
Lawyers, get at us.
Yeah. Don't try to bribe cops.
Don't drive drunk.
Don't drive drunk. We've talked about that. But in South Africa, that would have 1,000% worked.
Oh, yeah.
Say.
I feel like it only didn't work because he had a body camera on him.
Yeah,
It
probably
depends on the officer. I would like to think that they wouldn't let somebody continue to drive drunk. Unless,
but
of course,
$400
they're a
guys.
congressman.
Yeah.
Right. And then,
Then
allow me
then they
to
give 'em
escort you,
Yeah, a
sir.
motorcade.
Oh, my camera
motorcade.
just ran out of battery. That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Also,
your
the
body
timing's
camera.
good. Oh, I thought you were talking about your camera for recording this episode.
No,
And I was like,
clicked
why
my
aren't you plugged
I
in?
I clicked my body camera button on my fake invisible
Oh,
vest.
that's what that was? You weren't just tweaking your nipple gently?
I don't have a nipple in the middle of my chest.
I don't know where
Yet.
your nipples are.
Yes, you
Yet.
do.
You're right,
Girl,
I do.
yes, you do.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
All right, well, those are my short dives.
That was
Good
amazing.
job.
Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing.
The horse is drunk.
Yeah, she's not drunk. The horse is drunk. I like the werewolf, personally.
So good. The
Yeah.
werewolf is so good.
With the Russian accent, ever since I got bit by a wolf in
I now
Germany.
have a Russian accent.
Just calling everyone Keith. That's my new go-to, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, call me Keith.
Just call me Keith.
Just call me Keith.
Should we hear a word from our sponsors?
I
Do it.
With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. So skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, which is what makes it America's #1 meal kit.
Oh my gosh, seriously. I love HelloFresh because HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning. Meal planning is something I just won't do. I won't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand how people can have their lives that put
Nope.
together in advance.
Can't do it. Yep. No, won't do it. And it also cuts out grocery store trips. There's less prep. There's less effort. There's minimal cleanup. It's checking all of my boxes. You can enjoy cooking and eat dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes. So that whole thing that happens to me where it's like by the time I'm even thinking about cooking, I'm already so hungry that I
Right.
don't want to do it. HelloFresh takes care of that for you. And HelloFresh's produce gets from the farm to your door in less than a week, which means fresh, high-quality ingredients. I know that's a concern with people who are doing these meal kits where it's like you don't want wilted produce showing up at your door.
No, honestly, the produce in HelloFresh has always been like even better than what I get at the grocery store.
For real. And I love that you can get, like we said earlier, those like from the bag to your table in 30 minutes kind of meals. They're so good. I recently made the saucy pork burrito bowl.
Hello.
Yeah, we've got pulled pork. We've got charred poblano. We've got a smoky crema, a salsa fresca. You're making it yourself. It's like the most delicious, fresh, beautiful meals. I can't even believe it.
It's just the best. So go to HelloFresh.com/gals14, GALS14, and use that code GALS14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. I mean, go to HelloFresh.com/gals14 and use that code gals14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Here in Kentucky in the summer, it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
And I worry about swoob
Oh, yeah. Big time.
under the gals. And I
Yeah.
also am like busting out a lot of new outfits, summer outfits, you know, where I don't necessarily want to like reveal too much or
Sure.
have, you know, a not cute bra showing underneath. So I have reinvested in even more Third Love bras because I am completely obsessed with them. And now I've got the 24/7 lace contour plunge bra. It's so cute. It does like, if I want, it can do like a little peekaboo of the lace,
Cute.
you know, on like a low cut top.
Oh,
I also have some great, just like regular, I think they call them the 24/7 perfect coverage.
Love.
those. I got one in like tan and one in black. I just love everything Third Love has, and that's because they create high quality underwear, sleepwear, loungewear, and of course, bras that are life changing and comfortable. So your body just loves being in their products. And they have cup sizes from AA through I, including exclusive half cups and lounge and sleepwear in sizes XS to 3X, so you can get ready to feel good, baby.
I didn't even know I was a cup size. Like, God bless Third Love. And Third Love obsesses over each stitch so that you never have to think about how something feels, looks, or wears. And while trends come and go, Third Love has always stayed true to one notion. We do comfort, you do you. The comfort is key, people. And the way that they can make this like perfect to fit you is the fitting room quiz. It's amazing. The fitting room quiz is like a personal shopper, but better. This interactive quiz focuses on size, breast shape, current fit issues. I'm a spillage gal. I always worry about spillage over the cup. And your personal style to deliver bras and underwear that are perfect for you. And the fitting room quiz has helped 18 million folks with boobs find their true bra size, and you could be the next.
I mean, it really changed my life because I was consistently ordering the correct band size, but
not the cup.
But then sticking with my old cup size, and then in a larger band size, the cup size is wrong and it changes.
Yep.
So Third Love helped me figure out what my actual bra size is. So Third Love knows you deserve to feel comfortable and confident 24/7. So right now they are offering our listeners 20% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/gals, GALS, now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 20% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/gals for 20% off today, and treat your boobs.
Treat 'em. If you're serious about cooking, you should invest in your kitchen tools. You're not going to reach elite chef level without elite chef tools. So Made In's cookware and kitchenware products are used by thousands of the world's best chefs. And I have this absolutely stunning non-stick pan that has become my go-to pan. You know how you like have a favorite burner on your
Oh,
stove?
yeah, and a favorite pan. I get it.
Now I have a favorite burner and a favorite pan. I love it. It heats so evenly, like making eggs. I'm not a great cook, okay? But this has helped me perfect like making scrambled eggs that aren't overcooked. I'm obsessed with it. It's so gorgeous.
And that is probably because Made In produces professional quality cookware and knives for those who love to cook. And they source the finest materials and partner with renowned craftsmen to make premium kitchen tools available directly to you without the markup. So Made In products are made to last, and they offer a lifetime guarantee. I love this because I am very hard on my pans, especially
Big
my
same.
nonstick ones.
Yup.
And their cookware distributes heat evenly, like Amanda said, and can easily go from the stovetop to the oven. And their knives are fully forged, perfectly balanced and stay sharp. I wish somebody would say that about me. They have 28,000 plus 5-star reviews, and their products are used by some of the world's best chefs at Michelin-starred restaurants around the world, so you can feel real fancy. Made in better cookware for better meals.
Yes, and right now, Made In is offering our listeners 15% off your first order with promo code GALS. This is the best discount available anywhere online for Made In products, so don't sleep on this one, folks. Go to madeincookware.com/gals and use promo code GALS for 15% off your first order. That's madeincookware.com/gals, promo code GALS, and treat your cooking.
Try it.
So like I said, similarly to Kenyon, I'm also going to do some shorties. And in the spirit of the stupid shit that I have done while drunk,
Oh, yeah.
many of which is a criminal gray area.
Name them. Name them.
Oh, I will.
She
I
gray.
wanted to cover a couple little short dives that I could like see myself in. So while there was not an article covering the arrest of a drunk woman at her 10-year high school reunion smuggling a dinner plate off of the booze cruise in her Spanx, or a traffic cone, or a valet ticket.
Or a random chunk of concrete.
It was a pipe.
Oh,
It
yeah, it was a
huge pipe that I found on the ground.
You left it at my parents' house when we parted ways the next day. And my mom called me like 6 days later and she was like, okay, this is my last resort. Do you know what this chunk of metal is? And I was like, yeah, Amanda brought it
Indeed,
home.
I do.
And she's
It's
like,
Amanda's pet.
she goes, I have been making calls about a piece falling off of an airplane because I couldn't fucking figure out where the fuck this came from or what the fuck it is. She thought it was just a random twisted metal debris.
That was me.
She called the city.
It was me. I should have left a note.
She called the airport.
Just the airport customer
They launched
service.
an inquiry.
It was an inquiry.
She was like, that was the best idea any of us could come up with.
Listen, so I wasted some valuable resources. What are you going to do? Here we go. Let's go back to 2012. It was a simpler time. Obama was president, and the children of the world still believed in magic, especially around the holidays. As December went into full swing, Kingston, Ontario, Canada, prepared for their annual Christmas parade down Princess Street. It honestly sounds so fucking
This is
idyllic.
a Hallmark movie.
I
Yeah,
can't.
I don't like
Yeah.
this.
But a drunk 24-year-old in attendance did not feel the Christmas spirit that year.
I like that you referenced Obama being president, but
For a Canadian
quickly
case.
took us to Ontario.
Yeah. Everything was better. when
Everything
Obama
was better in 20. Yeah, you're right.
But anyway,
I
He
didn't
took-
have a job, but you're right.
everything was better.
Who
He
did?
took to the streets to enjoy the parade, or not to enjoy the parade. Sorry, I've had some vodka. But to scream at the top of his lungs to anyone within earshot that Santa was not real. And if any children
That's
are
just
overhearing
like
this
your
right now,
opinion, man.
yeah. This guy's wrong. Santa is absolutely
Yeah.
real, children, and I have proof. So don't
Where
you
else do you think all those presents come from?
Not anywhere but Santa.
Don't even think about the fact that they're all in your mom's handwriting.
No, because your mom doesn't write in all caps
Yeah.
normally.
Duh.
So
Whatever. Lucy's dumb.
It's a placebo effect. Just let them
The
believe.
young man's name was never released to the public, but he was arrested swiftly and found to not only be in violation of the law concerning like disorderly conduct, but also in violation of the probation that he was on at the time of his outburst.
Idiot.
Though his identity remains protected, Kingston Police Constable Steve Koopman said his gelled hair, quote, looked like a set of devil horns protruding from his head, which paints a pretty good picture.
maybe not a Hallmark movie.
Maybe not.
There's a bunch of people in this town listening right now going, oh, I know exactly
I know
who that
it's-
fucker
yeah.
is.
It's Kevin. It's Keith.
It's Keith.
He was arrested around 6 p.m. on the evening of the parade and charged with disturbing the peace and violating his probation. He spent the night in jail and was released on bail the next morning under the conditions that he abstain from alcohol upon his release. I have no choice but to assume that he was not adhering to that. But wherever this Canadian Grinch is today, I hope his life has taken a positive turn and that he has stopped ruining the dreams of children.
Now he's actually a mall Santa.
Oh my God. Wouldn't that just be the top?
I feel like kids get presents whether or not they believe in Santa. What do they care? Right? I don't know. Am I a Grinch? Apparently.
Yes.
Whatever.
Santa's real. Don't listen to Lucy.
Santa is
She's
real if you
sad
believe.
and jaded.
And you don't have to believe.
You don't
there
have
are
to believe.
different cultural traditions.
There can
Placebo
be miracles.
effect. You get
when
presents
you
anyway.
believe.
Who cares?
Wow, you're a bad person. In June of 2009, a Clackamas, Oregon man named Jeremy Martin needed to curb his drunkenness with the holy plate of drunkenness, a McDonald's burger and fries.
bless.
Or 8 of them.
The
Oh my
anointed
God.
holy plate.
With all the sauces.
Unfortunately for Jeremy, the restaurant made a mistake on his order, and he was beyond his capacity to deal with such an upset.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Of course.
How hard is a burger and fries?
And these 4 specific sauces, 3 of each.
And extra napkins. Okay, cool, thanks.
Okay, cool, thanks. Exhausting his options for reconciliation in the establishment, Jeremy called 911.
They didn't move on to mediation.
The first 2 times he called, dispatch informed him that they would not be sending police to assist him and that he needed to hang up and stop calling.
You're not supposed to call more than once.
No, but the 3rd time he called,
Oh, no.
they agreed to send officers to the scene. Jeremy was thrilled when they swiftly arrived, but his mood quickly changed when he realized they were not there to right this egregious wrong, but to arrest him for improper use of 911 services.
Do we know what the upset was
No
specifically?
clue.
Okay.
No clue. He probably just got the wrong sandwich or something. Jeremy spent the night in jail to sober up and was sent on his way. Now, this last one is like, I can't.
Did you barf in your underwear?
I didn't barf in my underwear, but this would make this. I would do this if I had access to the ability to do this. I recently was on vacation with my family, and my cousins all played this drinking game that I observed but didn't play because I was like already too drunk to participate. I don't remember what the game was called, but we have to fucking play it. You basically draw names on a pizza box or like a piece of cardboard, and then you throw a quarter onto the box. If it lands on your name, you drink. And if it lands on an empty space, and you make up a rule and you write it on the box.
Oh.
And then when it lands on there, you have to like do the rule.
Oh, yourself, the
Yeah.
quarter tosser? Oh,
That's
no.
fun.
Yes, but the rule can be like make Kenyan,
Oh.
pick her nose. You know what I mean? So
Easy.
One of the rules that was written was buy something on Amazon for $5 or less. And then my cousin texted us like today being like, oh, my gel pens arrived that I ordered. But it reminded me of the time that I drunkenly bought a set of throwing axes on an ex-boyfriend's Amazon account for like throwing axes at trees.
Is that the one that's by your door right now?
No, that's a new axe that Bill
Oh.
got custom made for me.
That was a very
How many-
romantic act.
How many edged weapons do you have?
Well, we have 2 axes. Well, technically they're hatchets. I have an axe outside. I have a lot. I'm a homeowner. Anyway, so this just reminded me of this ridiculous drunk like blunder, I'll say, quote unquote, because it's that I read about forever ago. I had bookmarked this. I didn't like have a spot for it in an upcoming episode, and now lo and behold, here we are. So all that to say, don't fuck with money while you're hammered.
Yeah.
Just don't. In 2009, a man named Stephen Perkins was working for PVM Oil Futures as a Brent crude broker in their international commodities futures division. So he's based out of London. Please do not ask me questions about what the fuck any of this means, but he was basically a financial and investment guy for this big ass oil company.
Okay.
As a rule, in a position like this, he's not allowed to trade stocks or trade commodities using PVM's money. I assume he just like manages agreed upon financial investments and trades, but he can't like make those trades of his own volition, just like willy-nilly.
Sounds very fair and logical.
Reasonable.
Right. It's not
So
his money.
No. So you can maybe see where this is going.
Oh, God.
One hat June day, after a whole weekend of boozing at a company golf weekend.
Oh, my God.
That sounds so boring.
And so white. Stephen decided to continue his day drinking and make some trades. He claimed he was making these trades for a private client and then blacked out from all the drinking. While he was blacked out around 1:30 in the morning, he traded 7 million barrels worth $500 million of oil over the course of about 2.5 hours.
Oh, traded them for what?
Like on the stock market.
Lucy.
This single trade accounted for nearly 70%. For what? For McDonald's.
What did he recoup?
Not bartered them. Stock market.
He traded them for gift cards to Target, which, like, I get it.
I'm asking if he recouped.
Well, we'll get to what the losses and stuff were. Some of
Wasn't
it
a stupid question.
it was just phrased stupidly.
Okay.
Hey, maybe if you agreed that Santa was real, you would ask less stupid questions.
I've had half of Mai Tai. I'm fine.
Single trade accounted for nearly 70% of the total allotted volume of oil being traded at the time and was over 10 times the average trade volume of like a single oil conglomerate.
How are there not processes in place to block?
For real.
Good question.
It's just like Face ID on his phone.
Right?
Yeah.
So it certainly stood out as an extreme transaction.
He probably got fired, right?
We'll get to it.
Promoted.
We'll get to it. About 3 hours after finishing the trade at approximately 6:30 a.m., he texted his boss to say he was sick and wouldn't make it into the office that
I
day.
bet.
He was then contacted at about 8 a.m. by his office to be like, "What the fuck, dude? What did you do?" And he was like, "What? I was making trades for a client. I must have accidentally done it from my company account. Oops." And PVM was like,
This
"The
isn't
fuck you
fucking
did."
Gmail.
No.
Yeah.
It was
And tried to-
$500 million from your
Yeah, of
personal.
oil.
No.
And tried to back out of responsibility for the whole fiasco. Again, I don't understand money or how anything works. So don't ask me questions. But this drunken trading cost the company almost $10 million. They definitely had to have been able to recoup.
Most
Some.
of it. It's fine.
Oh, God, I have hiccups now.
So
Just
he was
belch.
he
Luck.
bought a bunch of oil and then a few,
Like, he
12
traded it.
hours later, the price of oil must have gone down like a fraction of a fraction.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Kind of. So,
Okay.
again, I don't know. Cost the company almost $10 million when their average annual income at the time was around $12 million. So, like, this created a huge deficit. It also created a worldwide spike in oil costs as they're like figuring out
Yeah.
what to do with this like illegal, well, non-consensually traded oil barrels. So the price of oil went up about $1.50 per barrel, which cost consumers worldwide about $175 million.
Right. So that was going to be my question. Because if he bought a fuck ton of oil at one time, then the price would go up. And then when they sold that oil 12 hours later, conceivably they would make money from it.
I don't think that that's how this went down. Clearly it's not, because it created a deficit.
Something must have happened.
While
Okay.
they figured out, I guess,
or fees or something.
Right, what the fuck we do with this oil. I don't
This is
fucking know.
incredible.
So here is the real value of being a rich white man. And again, he's based out of London, so all of the fines are in pounds, but it's still like ridiculous. He got a slap on the wrist.
Oh my God.
Quote, after an investigation by the FSA, which deemed him not fit and proper, Perkins was barred from working as a trader in June 2010 for a minimum of 5 years and fined a total of 72,000 pounds that could be paid in 36 installments.
Which is not much for presumably a guy.
No.
At this level.
Considering what he did, that is fucking nothing.
And he was clearly like a stockbroker, like professional trader, and had private clients on the side. So he this wasn't his only means of making money.
I bet he didn't keep a lot of those private clients.
I'm sure
Well,
he
but
did.
I think
hope
she's
not.
saying he probably had a
the money to
shitload
pay
of
it.
money.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah.
I bet he had a reserve.
Yeah.
This number was reduced from 150,000 pounds after Perkins expressed concern that the 150,000 pounds would cause him undue financial hardship.
Fucking wah.
I know. Wah.
Yeah.
When delivering the report, a regulator for the FSA said that Mr. Perkins poses an extreme risk to the market when drunk.
The market.
Oh my
Worldwide
God.
oil market.
Holy
Like,
shit.
This'll get you murdered, sir.
Oh,
Murder.
yeah.
Yeah, in most circumstances.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I can't.
I hope
Wow.
he realizes how fucking lucky and white he is.
There should be
Oh,
like
yeah.
a breathalyzer that you have to use before you can like log into your
Oh, yeah.
investment account.
Twitter, let alone this.
Oh, my God. So good.
I feel like there should be a breathalyzer for every car. You know how like they only
And
have it for
social
people who
media
have like
platform.
repeated DUIs. You
Yeah.
know, they have to like breathe into a thing before they can drive their car.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like,
I'm all
why not
about
every
preventing
car?
drunk diving. But when we start, I don't want to sound like a libertarian, but when we
That
start
is
tacking
a
on
slippery
too many
slope.
regulations, it becomes a government overreach
It
situation.
is a slippery slope.
It's slippery.
That specific example, sure, yes, of course, why not? But
It's a
in
Pandora's
the grand
box.
scheme, it's a Pandora's box. It's a Pandora's snow globe. This is my snow globe of Robert the Doll, who I visited in Key West.
I wondered if it was maybe Ho Chi Minh because it's a little bit blurred for me on the camera right now.
I'll send you a pic. I did visit Robert the Haunted Doll in Key West, and I did get a snow globe, and I do love it, and it did make my suitcase over 50 pounds, and I did pay an extra $50 to bring him home.
That's it. That is one expensive snow globe.
My
it was too
God.
late. It was too fucking late. I was so tired. I just, whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Girl.
Worth
right.
it.
At first, I blacked out where you said snow globe and thought you just smuggled Robert the doll all the way here.
She
and I was
stole
like,
it.
He's
You're
way
gonna
too
get
big. He's
arrested.
like 3 feet tall, and he's
Yeah.
legit haunted.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
I
I'm
took
sure
one
they've-
photo of him. You're supposed to ask permission before you take his picture, or else he will curse you.
Did you ask? Because then you
Yes, of
sent
course
us
I
the fucking
asked.
photo. Okay.
I only took one photo because I was nervous, and of course I asked.
I'm
Oh
pretty
my
sure
God.
they've covered Robert the Doll on, and that's why we drink.
Oh, they
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Yeah.
And lore and a lot
So
of
good.
Very famous doll.
Thank you so much to our fan picker, Danny Hancock.
Yeah.
God bless you, Danny,
They-
and happy
they are a
belated.
doll.
Yes,
Happy belated, happy
21.
21, and just enjoy
30,
that
flirty,
body.
and thriving. Take the nudes,
Take
honey.
the nudes.
Take the nudes.
Take them.
Take 'em.
We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Wine and Crime. Our cover art is by Kala Yip, music by Phil Young and Corey Wendell, editing by Jonathan Camp. Check out our website and blog at wineandcrimepodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wine and Crime Pod. If you have questions, answers, or recommendations to share, email us at wineandcrimepodcast@gmail.com. Episodes are available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, basically wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And if you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. It is the best way to spread the word. If you'd like to show your support and get a shout out on air, visit our Patreon page to keep this podcast and the wine flowing. Cheers.